game. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the New England Patriots. Garoppolo returns to New England. Face off against his the old Jedi Master there in Bill Belichick. But let me hit you with some projections. Look, I don't love San Francisco's offense this week. New England's defense last week was not the issue. Their defense is pretty strong. You got to figure Deebo Samuel is going to be double covered, which means Ayuk is going to be covered by Gilmore. That's typically what they do. Or maybe Gilmore locks up against Kittle. That's probably more likely. But anyway, look, you start Kittle just because of his star power. I'm fine starting him. He might get through. I start Mostert if he's healthy. The guy's breaking my heart. He always puts up great halves of football and then gets banged up the second half. Like, oh my gosh, I have him on my team if you can't tell. I love Mostert, but the guy's got to play a freaking full game for crying out loud. I'm sitting Garoppolo. I'm sitting basically everybody else. It's really Mostert and Kittle, and I don't have a great projection on Kittle. I'm just starting him because he's just a baller. For New England, Cam Newton, I do have a startable grade. I don't love him. Man, I'm a little bit worried if I'm a Chiefs fan. They can't pass the ball like with efficiency. We saw it last year. The receivers aren't separating downfield. Cam Newton, maybe it's Denver's defensive backs are faster than I thought it was, or they were, but Cam Newton's arm looked weak. And I've never said that about Cam Newton before. We know he has a strong arm. It looked weak. I don't know if he was aiming or if he wasn't setting his... I don't know what the deal was, but he didn't look good as a passer last week. Edelman, I think, is a start because I think he'll just get back to the ball control stuff this week against the 49ers. They're going to need him. And N'Keal Harry, if you're in a touchdown-only league, maybe start him, but I stay away from him this week. I don't like the matchup. What I will say is San Francisco, I mentioned this in the reaction video, their defensive backfield, first of all, they need Sherman back. I don't know if he's going to be back next week or not. San Francisco's coverage is great, but they're not turning their heads on the deep ball. Miami took advantage of it, and the Rams were taking advantage of it a bit yesterday as well. New England will see that on tape, and they will take deep shots and just chuck the ball to N'Keal Harry, and just count on San Francisco being there and doing this and not turning the head around, because that's what's been happening. But anyway, take it away, David.
We'll say I don't have any Patriots shares. I don't think I have a single. Maybe I have one Damian Harris share, but I'm very happy to keep it that way. This offense is so unpredictable from a weekly basis. Is Cam going to lead the rushing attack? Is it going to be a running back?
Is it going to be Burkhead?
Other than James White, he's the only reliable
You're right.
option. Even Edelman, we're seeing it's up and down, up and down, up and down. It's a little bit of a guessing game. Harry, I'm ready to toss him in the garbage bin.
I would.
He's not doing anything, getting plenty of targets. So I don't see the value going up at any point unless it's a cake matchup. On the other side of the field, Jimmy Garoppolo, guys, do not write him off and do not think this is just one game. This is still a buy low opportunity, especially with them facing New England this week, which is a good matchup. I think I put the league winner tag on Jimmy Garoppolo 2 weeks ago in my waiver wire article. Came out and he completely face planted against Miami and made me look like a complete moron. But I'm still ready to keep that tag slapped on him because what do we talk about, guys, early in the episode? What weeks matter in fantasy? 14, 15, and 16. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it, guys. Unless you're getting paid out for winning the regular season points title, you want to win weeks 14, 15, and 16, and that is the most important time of the year. Who does Jimmy Garoppolo face weeks 14, 15, and 16? He faces the football team, the Cowboys, and the Cardinals. Again, football team's defense a little bit better than they're given credit for.
Right.
This is still a game we expect the San Francisco defense to handle Washington's offense.
Yep.
We expect the San Francisco offense to hold the ball most of the game, to be able to get turnovers against the Washington defense and be in the red zone, easy score opportunities. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, guys, even in a one quarterback league, he's probably going to be the guy who I want to be my starter for the fantasy playoffs. I mean, if you're looking at the other options, we talked about Dalton. I want Dalton first, but there ain't a whole lot of other available options out there that have that upside, that are in a great offense, which Jimmy Garoppolo is in a great offense, which has had some struggles, still in my opinion, a great offense. So I love Jimmy Garoppolo. I think this probably going to be your last chance to pick him up because after New England this week, they face Seattle next week in what could be a shootout.
Yep. And if you're worried about Garoppolo and what we saw in Miami, try to find some film and look at what his ankles looked like yesterday. It looked like they were encased in cinder blocks, those ankles being taped up and his high ankle sprain and all that. He will get better as he gets healthier, and this offense can support him. with look, this offense yet this year has not seen a game where Garoppolo, Debo, Kittle, Mostert, and Ayuk have all been healthy at the same time. I think last night might have been the first week that all of them were in the lineup at the same time, maybe against Miami. But Garoppolo still isn't healthy. This offense can support, so don't worry about it. I agree with you, especially with the weeks 14, 15, 16. Go ahead.
We got one more guy to talk about for San Francisco, and that is JaMycal Hasty.
Ooh, I forgot to mention him. Thank you for bringing that up.
Who is an excellent athlete. If you follow the combine at all, he was, I believe, the highest jumping running back. He's at 5'9". He's a short guy, but he has got lower body explosiveness to boot. He was, I believe, also the #1 shuttle scorer. So what do we talk about? Shanahan. Look at some of the running backs he's made, guys. Look at Mostert. We're talking about late round picks. It doesn't matter your draft capital. What matters is if you fit the system. Do you have explosion? Can you get downhill fast? Can you make one cut and go? JaMycal Hasty can do all of those things. When Mostert got hurt this past week, who did they turn to at the end of the game? McKinnon got some snaps, but they turned to JaMycal Hasty. Gave him 9 carries, which he took for 37 yards. And another important thing here, even if Mostert plays, guys, who was active? Was it Hasty or Jeff Wilson? It was Hasty. They're keeping Jeff Wilson inactive right now, maybe because they like Hasty more on special teams. I'm not sure. But what does that mean? It means if Mostert is active again and does go down again, which from this point, unfortunately, looks highly probable based on Raheem Mostert's injury history, it's going to be JaMycal Hasty who's active, who they're going to have to turn the ball to. And he's going to be the one who's given the opportunity to run away with the gig, to at least stake his claim for a role in the backfield. If Raheem Mostert goes down, Jeff Wilson's inactive, Jeff Wilson can't do nothing to stake his claim from home sitting on the couch watching the game. JaMycal Hasty is going to be the one who's given a chance to stake his claim. And this was the #2 rushing offense last year, guys. This is the league-winning potential we're looking for in stashes. JaMycal Hasty absolutely deserves to be on rosters in all shapes, sizes of leagues.
Thank you for bringing him up, because I completely whiffed and didn't bring that up. So in the reaction video I posted for the 49ers versus the Rams, I talked about Hasty quite a bit. Here's the deal, everybody. I'm very familiar with the Shanahan system, right? I was a Washington fan when he went over there. I know what backs work. I used to watch a lot of Denver Broncos back in the day. Terrell Davis, by the way, was a 6th-round pick, a guy that basically got into the lineup because he destroyed a guy in the preseason on a tackle, if you know that story. After Davis left, you had obviously Clinton Portis had some draft capital, but you had guys like Olandis Gary. There was another guy, I can't even remember his name, but
Mike Anderson.
Thank you. There are guys that come out of nowhere to get 1,000 yards, and there's a specific type of thing. Again, I don't know that I can describe it, but when you know it when you see it. You can see vision, and you can see, like you said, decisive cuts. But also there's another level of that, which Hasty has. Even though you look at him, you see 5'8" or whatever his measurables are, and he's like, 5'8", smaller guy. He's a bigger guy. He runs more physically than you think. When I saw him last night, this is the first game action I've seen him. I don't know if he broke into the lineup in any other games. This is the first extended look I got. My first impression was he will be the starting running back of the San Francisco 49ers in 2 or 3 years. He will be the guy. I said this about Mostert 2 years ago when I saw him. Today, Mostert is better. He has speed. He's going to have value. But Mostert's 28 years old. Look, I know he doesn't have a lot of NFL miles on his body because of the way his career's gone. He's 28 years old. He's going to be fast for a while, but he's been banged up, everybody. Hasty today is better than McKinnon, and it's not close. Now, it might take a little while for the depth chart to shake out. It took, a year and a half for that Mostert prediction for me to come true. Hasty will be the guy. Now, it's possible that San Francisco falls, backwards into a better guy next season, but let me say this. If you're in a keeper or if you're in a dynasty, you pick him up now and you save him, because next year the hype on him is going to be so crazy. At worst, you're going to be able to trade him for a nice draft pick. Pick him up. He's going to be the number 2 running back on this roster for probably the next season or two. I have no problem saying JaMycal Hasty will be the starting running back before his rookie contract is over. Dynasty, he's going to be an afterthought. He might still be out there for you. Pick him up. Thanks for bringing that up for the crowd,
and
man.
if he is available in your deeper, or not available, because in a lot of deeper dynasties where you're rostering 20, 24 guys, he's probably on. Picked up. I'm willing to go give a 3rd-round pick for this guy. just because of the upside. So
do it. I'm telling you. I mean, he checks all the boxes for the prototypical Shanahan guy, and him dancing around with no blocking against a tough Rams defensive front and still getting 4 to 5 yards a game. Again, Mostert is better now, and he's probably going to be better next season. But by the end of next year, it's definitely going to be Hasty getting carries, and we know Mostert's injury history, everybody. I mean, Hasty's going to have his chance, and if he gets the full run of this, Mostert might never get his job back. Mostert might be the secondary running back. So, buy now. It's never going to be a cheaper price. Never going to get a better deal. Buy now. Anyway, let me hit you at the line, David. San Francisco +5 versus New England.
I'm taking San Francisco here.
I think New England bounces back. I think it's a close game, but San Francisco getting 5 points. I'm going to take... Man, Shanahan's system's good. San Francisco rebounded after getting embarrassed, and Garoppolo's only going to get healthier. New England, their offense is bothering me, man. They're going to have to pass the ball sometime. Cam Newton makes bad decisions. You know? I mean, he's throwing the ball up in double coverage and stuff. I didn't mind it when Brady was doing it for Gronk. I mind it when Cam Newton's putting the ball into double coverage to Demir Bird, okay? New England is not as strong as they've been. Their defense is legit, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a close game, but I'll take the 5 this week in San Francisco. Next game, we got